victory with a rare victory over the Saints. They've lost to them in each of their last 7 meetings. Let's take a look at the teams then, shall we? And Salford hope that 6 former St Helens men will do the trick. Full-backs, Jake Mullaney for Salford, head-to-head with Johnny Lomax. The wings, former Batley man Greg Johnson is up against Adam Swift. 19 tries in 18 games so far. Danny Williams grabbed a try last week. Tommy Makinson has got a try in both of the opening games for Saints. Centres, Martin Gleeson, the first of 6 Saints in the Salford side. Teenager Mark Percival is opposite him. Francis Melly was St Helens' top try scorer last year. Jordan Turner's career began at Salford. At standoff, no Rangi Chase, he's still out injured, so the French teenage star Theo Farge is up against Lance O'Hire. Gary Wheeler is out injured. Scrum half should provide a battle royal. Tim Smith, and outstanding for Saints so far, Luke Walsh. Up front, Tony Pulatua gets the nod ahead of Adrian Morley. He will provide impact off the bench. It's all about impact for Alex Walmsley. Hooker Tommy Lee is with his 6th different club in as many seasons. James Roby is in rare form already. Ex-Brisbane Broncos hitman Lama Tasi, and it's Kyle Emore for the Saints. Second row, Harrison Hansen, the former Wigan star, goes up against John Wilkin. And stand by for fireworks here. Gareth Hawke is head-to-head with Willie Manu. And a loose forward, Andrew Dixon, who is 24 tomorrow, with Josh Jones on the opposite side. The substitutes, Adrian Morley, the only man still standing, having played in the very first Super League season of 1996 with McPherson, Ashurst and Howarth for company. Saints have got Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook, Soliola Lafranchi and Paul Wellens awaiting the call to arms. Well, the Saints have been out for a while because it is a chilly night here. But for all of that, it's a heartwarming atmosphere. And look at Harrison Hansen laying down the law to the Salford Red Devils inside that dressing room. They will be out in just a few seconds' time. Adrian Morley leading them out, of course, the club captain, who begins off the bench tonight, as does his opposite number, Paul Wellens for Saints. He starts off the bench as well. And Joshua Wilson is the mascot tonight, an inspirational 13-year-old boy. Recurring brain tumour and post-surgery neuromuscular disabilities. His Super Josh charity helps improve the lives of others with brain tumours and post-surgery disabilities. And Adrian Morley is a patron of his charity. So we're about ready to go. Delayed kick-off. Phil Bentham, the match referee in the middle. He could have the Devils' own job tonight to keep these two sides apart. Salford Red Devils in red and the Saints in blue. Change strip for them. Here we go. Johnny Lomax gets us underway, and this eagerly awaited match in front of what must be a ground record crowd is underway.
Well, this could be the start of a new era for the Salford side. They know it, they understand it. Even Dr. Kukas made it quite clear that the opposition in the first 2 opening rounds has not been at the top level, but tonight they will be tested. Eddie, you said, is this the acid test? Yes, it certainly is.
Salford with first use of the football here is Tim Smith. He hasn't got Rangi Chase alongside him at the moment. He is out injured, but Theo Farge is there, and he will be a more than able deputy. There is Andrew Dixon, former St Helens man, goes down in the challenge from Walmsley and Amor. The first kick from Tommy Lee at dummy half.
Not the best, though.
Not indeed, and underneath it is Tommy Makinson for Saints. Good chase, though, by Harrison Hansen and company.
Yeah, it had to be as well, but they've got to improve on that. Oh, that's nerves. That is nerves, no doubt about it. It's okay putting yourself in a position. And the winger took his eyes off the football, and that is not what this man wanted. But I tell you something, the Salford Devils and Brian Noble will be pleased with that. They will launch something. I was down in London watching the game where Salford took on London, and I must say, Tim Smith, well, Saints have done one thing to Tim Smith that London didn't, and that was make him play the ball. He controlled everything, did Smith.
This is Martin Gleeson, ex-St Helens. He won the 2002 Challenge Cup, Grand Final rather than the 2004 Challenge Cup for the Saints. And the Saints' defence has to be fairly solid against Andrew Dixon. That was Lee, gets the short ball away. Solid tackle round the legs of Tony Puletua by James Roby. And here is Smith. And Smith gets the Salford Red Devils to within a couple of metres of the line. Tommy Lee, and a chance for Tony Puletua to drive himself towards the St Helens line. This time last year he was on that Saints line defending for all it's worth. Now he's attacking with Lee, and Lee feigning to pass, then does. Fage drifts the kick through. That's very well watched by Jordan Turner.
Well, the idea was okay, and the Frenchman, but it was wonderful position, wasn't it, by Jordan Turner. You know, the one thing about this youngster, Theo Fage, he's definitely top quality, but he has to improve his kicking game.
Well, Steve-O, you can just see the ferocity of the Salford line speed. Maybe that was partly to blame for Adam Swift's mistake.
Here's Luke Walsh, he's got some support with him. He's turned the full back inside out. The ball comes back on the inside. This is Willie Manu, great tackling back by Tommy Lee. Now it's Roby, quick play, the ball wanted by Saints, they got it, and Roby tries to get away from Gleeson.
Great run by the hooker, takes him out wide, got the opportunity to try to stretch this Salford defence, kick to the corner.
From Lancashire High, looking for Adam Swift, and underneath it is young Greg Gold, 24-year-old Greg Johnson, the former Batley player, and he pouched that. But that's a chance that's gone for the Saints.
Well, you could also give credit to the Salford side. You know, they'll have the line broken. They did last season, and too often their opponents managed to get over and score a try. Good recovery there. Although they obviously were in trouble, they got back in enough numbers, then they prevented a try.
This is Gareth Hock trying his debut against Wakefield. He looks set to join Parramatta, but joined the Devolution instead.
Boy, the prop forward, Kyle Amor, he's working overtime. It looks to me as though Nathan Brown, the Saints coach, has said, look, I want a good 15 minutes from you. He's certainly not letting the coach down. Now then, what can Lomax do? Chase is good.
Yes, it's a solid run line, and what a hit on Lomax. Boy, I felt that from Tommy Lee. Whoa.
Was that a shoulder charge, though?
No, that was a good shot.
Yeah, he went with his arm, he just didn't get it wrapped around, so it's different to the shoulder charge, no rotation.
Bit of a slip from Lomax as well, but again, the difficulty or the risk when you go up at 1,000,000 miles an hour with good line speed is you do leave yourself vulnerable to footwork.
Talking of footwork, how's that from Manu? He gets away from a couple, and Francis Melly is back there to bring him down.
Great run, though, wasn't it, from Manu? But I tell you what, Brian Noble will be furious about the defence.
Great ball from Walsh to Amor. Great ball from Amor to Wilkin. Wilkin will go home for the first try, will he? Yes, he will.
Momentum took him over. He'll give this. That's the quality of the referee, Phil Bentham.
John Wilkin with the try. Happy to be playing back row again this year. Finished last year with 9 consecutive appearances at standoff. And John Wilkin gets the first try of the night for St Helens.
Well, it was always coming. They applied the pressure. Remember, it was Luke Walsh that made that wonderful break. Look at the step on there. Just completely left Francis Melly. OK, full credit to Salford. They got back. But they were always stretched. Another run from Manu put him in this position. Look at the dummy run as the short pass there to Amor was outstanding. Wilkin, he's been around. Yep, no double movement, took him over.
Steve-O, it's the patience that Walsh shows. He takes it right to the line, right to the teeth of the defence. He threads Amor through a hole, who has the skill and ability to then link up with John Wilkin. Great start for the Saints side.
And I just had a little look alongside the line here at Stuart Cummings. He gave me the thumbs up. There's no problem with that, Stuart, no?
Not at all. The tackle was never complete. He just kept on going. His momentum took him over the line, and he grounded the ball perfectly. Great try.
So Wilkins trying. This is Luke Walsh to try and improve, which he does. Luke Walsh, well, that's his 13th goal already this year. 18 points and a man-of-the-match display against Warrington 2 weeks ago.
Well, they found themselves in this position because one or two of the defenders on the left side for Salford just haven't stuck when they've hit the man. Then all of a sudden they're on the back foot, going, trying to cope with players flooding forward. Brian Noble knows they're now with Salford. If they hit a man in the Saints shirt, the form they're in at the moment, they have to stick and they have to stop the ball.
Yeah, Phil, you're right in as many ways, and the writing was on the wall when the sidestep from Luke Walsh What a start to his career in this country. He has been outstanding, and it was only a matter of time, Eddie, that they were going to break that bridge and that defence.
But what about Francis Melly? He must have gone into this game thinking, I know everything about everybody. And Luke Walsh, one of the few players he hasn't played with, just gave him the sidestep.
Here is Alex Walmsley now for the Saints. 2012 Championship Young Player of the Year, formerly with Batley. Here is Lomax. They have a man on the outside. It is Swift, but Percival couldn't get the ball out to him. O'Hire at dummy half.
Interesting move, Eddie. Nathan Brown has got utilised in the fullback, Johnny Lomax. Now, normally Lomax coming from that position from the back comes outside the centre. He was just off the fringe there. That's a neat little kick. That's a pressure kick.
It is. It was a great kick. It was a tremendous kick from Wilkin. It was well gathered by Johnson. He has to take the tackle from Roby and from Lance O'Hire, and he does. Interesting that Lance O'Hire is in the side tonight. Poor Gary Wheeler, who has been plagued by injury throughout his career. There looks like a problem there for Francis Melly. But Lance O'Hire in for Gary Wheeler, as I say, plagued by injury, the young man. And Nathan Brown saying before the match tonight that he was feeling really sorry for O'Hire, that he couldn't force his way into the team, felt really bad that he couldn't get a place for him in his starting lineup. Well, he's been forced into it tonight because of Wheeler's injury. And I'm sure he's desperate to make an impact, the New Zealand international. That's not the best kick. Makinson will run this back for Saints.
They can't afford to be doing this, Salford. They've got to, and look, they're missing the tackles.
Here, they've missed 3 on the row there.
And they've got to
job that Lee was in position.
They've got to get that kicking game sorted out, and also this defence. They're all at sea. They're all going far too high. They've got to get the legs.
Tremendous pace from St Helens. We saw that a fortnight ago. They blew Warrington off the park. Tonight they're trying to do the same to the Salford Red Devils as Roby comes in at dummy half. Bullets the pass to Walsh. Little hop, skip and a jump from Walsh. He then finds O'Hire. O'Hire gives it to Lomax. Theo Fage low down. Gareth Hock finishing the job off. Here's Walsh again. Pops it up to Walmsley. Impressive Walmsley in the opening weeks of the season.
Yeah, big strong forwards. That's what Nathan Brown has brought to this game. And this guy, Luke Walsh, with
this is a perfect pass. This is a perfect kick, rather. But Greg Johnson dealt with it also perfectly.
Well, we've been playing for 9 minutes. Everybody would know that all of the kicks for St Helens have been fielded in that corner by Greg Johnson within 10 metres of his own line. He does well, doesn't he, under pressure there to gather the ball. But we've seen the pace with which St Helens have played contrasted with that from Salford. It's far slower, whether they have the ball, they're struggling to move in defence, and they almost need a break or penalty here to just change the momentum of this match, because they are being strangled to death here at present.
And Phil, it's the kick returns from Makinson and Swift. It's no coincidence. As you see one take the ball up, you nearly always see the other one take it up the play after.
Coming up to 10 minutes, Johnny Lomax there. He is featuring on the Game Changers this Saturday morning at 9 o'clock on Sky Sports 1.
That's a better kick. The chase is good as well. They've got over 8 players there, and that's better. Someone going down. The message has got out on this occasion. Martin Gleeson, message from Brian Noble. He'll be furious.
A game changer on Saturday will be Johnny Lomax. Will he be a game changer here this evening? Terrific show, that Game Changers, for the young viewers on Sky Sports, and Johnny Lomax will be taking full part in that. This is Percival, meanwhile, just over halfway, plays the ball to Jack Hughes. Josh Jones, I beg your pardon, and Wilkin takes the tackle. There is Roby. Here now is O'Hire, and it's Walsh. Good pass, finds Turner. Even better pass to Makinson. He's quick, is Makinson. That's a terrific kick. That's a fantastic try. That is a tremendous try for St Helens. The pace that Makinson flew down that right wing, and even at such pace, he still was able to get the kick in, and Walsh kept behind the man, making sure he was onside, and he won the race to the touchdown. It was a 2-horse race between him and a St Helens colleague. Brilliant.
It was all about very strong forwards, pull the defence over on the opposite side of the field. Makinson, 2 of them there. They could have selected either way. Lanta higher, on this occasion it was Walsh. They are just ripping the Salford side apart.
And it's the time that Walsh gives Turner that allows him to take it to the line. And Fred Makinson, again through that small gap, a wonderfully intelligent kick into the field of play. And Luke Walsh is having a tremendous start to Super League.
Isn't he just? 26 years of age, a former New South Wales under-19 representative. He was man of the match when we first saw him on his debut at Warrington. That's a 2-year deal. Formerly with Penrith, he was a standout figure for the Panthers in 2013, 159 points. Well, Nathan Brown has certainly unearthed a real nugget here, and on the evidence of the opening 3 weeks of the new first utility Super League season. And here he is to try and add the extra to his own try, which he does. And the Saints have raced into a 12-0 lead, and they came here with the intention of spoiling the Doctor's big night. And at the moment, it's bang on course.
Well, you can see that the player has to be behind the kick when it's placed off the foot. Makinson kicks inside, Walsh is onside, and clearly, calmly collects some grounds. Just too fast, too strong, and too skillful for Salford at present.
That was
the Reds about a minute there now to recover. Can they find a way of getting back into the game here? They certainly need possession inside their opponent's half, and they need to find a way of controlling how quick St Helens are playing this ball.
Well, St Helens took full advantage of the problems that Francis Melly has out on that defensive part. He was completely out of it. He didn't really get himself into any good position, but that was brought about by very, very good forward play down the middle. Let's hope that he can then sort it all out. It doesn't look the best.
Whoa. Lamatasi hunting up. So Kyle Amor, the big strong Cumbrian. That's a clash I look forward to seeing again.
I think you just might have caught a shot there. Francis Millie seems to have a problem with one of his eyes. I don't know whether it's a poke in the eye or something, but he's certainly struggling with his vision.
Tazi's not struggling with his vision, and that actually was a brilliant slip pass by Amor as well. Here goes Roby now, and finds Amor. And Amor loses the ball. It was one-on-one, it was stripped, it's play on. It's back to 0 in the tackle count as far as the referee's concerned.
Yeah,
one-on-one strip.
Yeah, good work from Phil Bentham there, but they're just cutting this Salford side apart. They're cutting them at will, and the big forwards, okay, they're getting a few big shots on, but look what the Saints forwards are doing. They're getting over the advantage line. Walmsley and Amor, they're having outstanding games.
Here is Wilkin. They're very quick on their feet, the Saints. They're looking incredibly fit at the opening to this season. They really are, and Walsh is at the heart of everything. Takes a big hit there, though, from Tony Pulatua. Roby's able to pinch some yards easy. That's Amor. The tackling low down by Tazi. Hansen finishes him off. This is the last one coming up for the Saints. Back from Roby to Ohio. Ohio to the in-goal area. Oh, and it just goes off the fingertips of Adam Swift.
It's all about the pressure, and Saints are certainly doing that. They've got it all sorted out. Good solid work in the forwards, the quality on the three-quarter line, and the kicking game is superb. You can't say that about the Salford side. They're all at 6s and 7s, both in attack and defence.
They're just having a little look here, the off-field referees, just to see if the referees got this right. Not so sure.
Were the two chasers offside, Stuart?
Well, there might have been, but all they're concerned about there was the actual restart. The referee on the field has nominated the 20-metre restart. The video referees can't prove him wrong, so we go with the 20-metre restart.
Johnson struggling to his feet, gets to his feet, and this is Dixon again for the Red Devils.
They need a little bit of possession now. They've got to just slow things down, try to get back into this game, not get too panicky, not too fancy. It's all about field position. They've applied no pressure to St Helens as yet.
They might do here with Smith, who just delayed the pass and didn't give the pass, and then had to take the tackle from Lance Ohio.
And he's furious, Eddie. Tim Smith is furious that no one was there to come both on the inside and outside. When you've got a player like that, you've got to make sure that you support him. Not just one player, two.
Neat little chip over the top from Tommy Lee. Finds touch on this near side. There's nobody there, you're right. He was waiting for somebody and they didn't turn up. Well, they have won their first 2 games for the first time since 2006, the Salford Red Devils. That just happened to be the only year that they have made the playoffs. Dr. Kukash has said his minimum requirement is the top 6. In 2014 would prefer the top 8. 2 big matches tomorrow on Sky, one live, one on delay from the south of France, Sky Sports 1. And there is the doctor. He doesn't look too impressed. Not with what he's seen so far, and he won't be impressed with that defence either.
And again, far too high. Look, you're just making it easy for him. Look how they pick up Lomax from the dummy half position. This guy is outstanding at the moment. Kyle Amor, all over the shop.
Yes, Wakefield, Amor on a 4-year deal.
Look at the position they are, Phil.
Well, it looks
only
like
on the
St.
third.
Yeah, they're playing it in fast forward, and Salford almost look as though they're in slow motion, don't they? Just the quick speed of the play of the ball. They can't live with the pace that St. Helens have started the match.
Walsh, he's toying with them. He gets the pass away on the bounce to Wilkin. Now then, was that touched? No, the referee says that's still foul. That will be the turnover.
Yeah,
this is contentious as far as Wilkin's concerned, Stuart.
Well, it is. He certainly went towards the ball. Whether he's actually touched it, you'd probably say he's trying to make a tackle there, so he's at the benefit of the doubt.
Yes, benefit of the doubt for Salford is something they needed. I don't think he did looking at that. That's a great decision, actually, from Phil Bentham. On halfway, the Red Devils. And this is Danny Williams.
Boy, if ever the team needed a penalty, it has to be the home side, Salford. That's better, running onto the ball. A little bit more enthusiasm.
Good drive forward that by Tarzai. Here now is Smith, who it went through his fingers and backwards. Andrew Dixon picks up the pieces. And he is then spun to the ground by Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook. Ryan Giggs is looking anxiously on. The ball goes off the boot of Tim Smith. Good kick from him. Well climbed by Adam Swift.
Boy, Swift takes the ball the most unusual way. It's very much a la Australian rules, isn't it? He doesn't bring it down to his chest. It's fingertip control. Big hit from Hawk.
Yes, Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook felt that. Morley's out there as well to provide the impact, number 8 in red. Adrian Morley living the dream this year with his hometown club, hoping to propel them to the glory days. He played in the very first Super League fixture, 1996, Leeds against the Warrington Wolves, playing for the Leeds Rhinos in those days, of course. The only man to still be playing in Super League this year who began in 1996. You played with him, Barry.
I did, and I knew the very first time I saw him and the very first time I trained with him, he was a bloke that took his career seriously and he took his game seriously. He hasn't changed too much. He's not as reckless as he used to be, but he's a wonderful athlete and he's a wonderful example, along with Jamie Peacock, that if you look after yourself and you do the right things, age is just a number. He's 36 years of age now and playing as well as ever.
This is a good run from Mulaney, the fullback. He's escaped the clutches of a couple. He's still going. This tackle is not made. It is now by Lance O'Hara.
It's taken Salford about 15 minutes to get into this game, but the last set of the defence was the best of the game, and all of a sudden they're now starting to look a little competitive.
This is a high kick from Tim Smith. Roby has dropped it, or was he impeded? He was impeded in the air.
Yeah, there was contact as he was getting himself off the ground. Look at that, though, the way that they shielded it. Trouble is, they stopped shielding.
That looks a little harsh on second viewing, Stuart.
Well, he's viewed that he's made contact in the air. Whether it actually constitutes a tackle is a different thing. St. Helens ended up with the ball anyway, so we could have probably played on from that.
The doctor's not impressed. By the way, I mentioned that Adrian Morley played in the very first Super League match for the Leeds Rhinos against Warrington. The very first Super League match of all time was refereed by, guess who? Stuart Cummins, part of our team. Another man still standing from the first weekend.
Seems a long time ago.
It does seem a long time ago. Steve-O was a mere boy then. Has he ever been a boy? This is Amor.
Yeah, I can remember the day when he went for the little square box, didn't it? We'll go to the screen, the very first person.
Now then, Jordan Turner. Now he's debating the decisions that are on the screen and trying to guide us and our viewers to convince us that the video referees have made the right decision. And the new video referee system, of course, is well and truly in operation. There they are, Ian Smith, Steve Ganson, poised and ready to go. That looked like a forward pass.
Yeah, the touch judge has got it.
Well, that's a victory for Salford's defence. They really hustled and hurried and forced Luke Walsh, not just on that tackle, but all the way through that set of 6. Let's see what they can do in attack.
Gleason's got support from Johnson.
Much better. They've upped the tempo. Also, they've been giving themselves, and they've got the penalty that they've been needing for quite some time.
The doctor leading the applause.
He lives it, doesn't he, Eddie?
Well, he's a massive fan. He told us that in the pre-match build-up, didn't he? He loves the game, thinks it's a fantastic sport. He wants to be successful, and he's put his money well and truly where his mouth is.
Well, it brings a smile to his face, but they need to get a score here. Very little opportunity in the red zone of the St. Helens defence area.
It's Tommy Lee who's waiting at dummy half. Looks for the runner. It is Smith, who then finds Farge, who finds Mullaney. Mullaney tries to brush away from Walsh, and Walsh sticks to him.
Great defence, though, by St. Helens. No one came out of the line. No one getting confused. Look, straight. They're talking to each other. Oh, that is discipline by the defence. Nathan Brown will be very pleased with that.
Smith pulled down by Ohio. Here is Hansen. He's gone without it. Hansen. This is the free play.
It all looked pretty for Salford, but it didn't look that threatening, did it, if you were a St. Helens defender? And there's players running in predictive positions. You almost knew where they were going to be. Other teams do it, but they didn't do it with much conviction. And you know, you wouldn't be surprised, really, would you, that St. Helens have such a lead at the moment. It's taken Salford 20 minutes to make a break. They have finally made one, and the defence was appalling in that first 15 minutes. They will rapidly have to improve that to be competitive this match.
So here comes Wilkin, and he gets it wide to Percival. And there's danger here for the Devils. Oh, and Percival's pass drifted forward as he went down.
Yeah, rush of blood by the youngster Percival. It was never on. And when you've just had a good stint in defence and just had the knock-on from their opposition, this is when you don't risk a pass. You don't have to. You're leading by 12 points. And he knows it too, does Nathan Brown. That should have been settle time, kick into the corner. He'll learn from it, this kid.
Well, they're aiming for a 5th consecutive win in Super League away from home. They did well on the travels, the Saints, in 2013. It was the home form that was a little bit worrying. They have lost 10 of 27 home games at Langtree Park. That's got to change, really, and that's got to change as well.
My word.
Shannon McPherson.
And sometimes, you know, Eddie, having been on the end of that, and you've got a bad cut like that, and you've got the physio and the doctor and everybody looking at it and weighing it up, and the last person who needs to know how bad it is the player himself.
I hope he's not looking at the big screen then, because he'll soon find out.
Oh, it's a stitch job, that's for sure. I mean, it's a gaping hole.
Or was it a clash of heads?
Adrian Morley.
Or was it Adrian Morley?
Yeah.
I don't think it was Adrian Morley's head, by the way.
By the way,
call gone out for the doctor.
It's not that doctor. He can't be stitching up as well as everything else he does for the club.
Oof. Johnson thought about releasing the pass there. Thought better of it. Played the ball then to Lee. Here is Morley.
Well, the one thing that Adrian will do will settle things down a bit. He's got the experience to understand slowly but surely. Now Hawk looking to see if he could offload. Good work there by LaFranchi.
Farge gets the ball away to Smith. And he goes behind everybody. Johnson is the first to react. Good tackle by Percival. Smith again. And here is Mullaney. Infield to Dixon. Last tackle coming up here for the Salford City Reds. Lomax has dropped back, expecting a deep kick from Smith, and there it is, straight to him.
Yeah, that's a problem. They've been doing that too much. That really should have been into the corner. Okay, the chase is good. But the way that St. Helens have been able to play the ball quickly, get over the opposition half.
Is that sequence again, Makinson then Swift, starting the momentum.
It looks like McPherson is fully bandaged and is back out there. Maybe they will attend to that in 16 minutes time or so at the half-time interval. Solid run from Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook. This is his 58th consecutive appearance, a run that stretches back to March 2012. Wilkin inside the 40. He's gone for a 40-20 here. And the ball has skipped right instead of skipping left. It's good chase, though. Tremendous chase. Percival first there.
Good team coordination, good nattering to each other as well. Kicks coming in. Wilkin was saying, get prepared. The outside backs trundle down on this left-hand side. I must say, they know that attacking this Salford right hand in defence, and that's where Tim Smith is positioning himself in defence. Not only puts him under a lot of work, but if they get to him, they can give him a few bruises.
Legs up in the air, but Gleeson safely downed by Roby. Here goes this McPherson again, the former South Sydney forward. McPherson with the head heavily bandaged. Now Theophage with the outside of the boot and straight down the middle. The only man reacting to that is Tommy Makinson. It's a good chase, though, by the Salford Red Devils.
I hate repeating myself, Eddie, but I'm frustrated. Whatever Brian Noble must be thinking now, how many times have they just made sure that they kick down the middle when none of the St Helens wingers had dropped back? Put them into the corner.
Josh Jones, another man who has been fairly consistent for the Saints. 37th consecutive appearance for him tonight. This is another attempt by Wilkin for a 40-20. It might just get the skip. It does get the skip. That's a 40-20 from Wilkin. We saw one in the first game from Luke Walsh. We've seen one in the second time we've seen Saints from John Wilkin.
Well, let's hope that Brian Noble and the Salford players have taken a little bit of notice to this.
Well, Steve, I think that Saints set that up. John Wilkin saw something he liked the previous kick. He kicked it long. Craig Johnson only just got there, but he thought, do you know what, I might just have a little look at that. Kicked early on the third tackle. Greg Johnson not back, couldn't get back in time, and good field position for the Saints.
And you know, Baz, I know it may surprise you, but sometimes forwards can think, and that was great play by Wilkin.
The modern-day forward can think.
Well, John Wilkin, a tremendous kick. The chairman of the League 13 association that looks after the players. And Shannon McPherson having a quick jersey change. And it was a head clash here, we think. Yes, it was, with Johnny Lomax. So I blamed Adrian Morley in the tackle, but it wasn't that. It was a head clash with Johnny Lomax.
This is a massive minute of action here now for Salford. You know, they got themselves competitive where they were coping until this 40-20 that shifted the momentum again back now in St Helens' favour. They have to focus for these six players. They must hold them out.
And Lomax finds Adam Swift. Swift heads to the right-hand side, puts the brakes on. Goes down in the challenge. Heavy tackling it was as well. This is Willie Manu doing exactly the job that they brought him from Hull to do. 9 metres away from the line, plays the ball to Roby. Roby's short ball to Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook. McCarthy-Scarsbrook goes down 3 metres shy of the line. Roby's there again. Here is Jones, gets it away to Walsh. Now it's O'Hire. Here is Lomax. Little hop and a skip from Lomax. Dumps the ball back to Percival. Percival helps it on to Wilkin. This is good stuff again from the Saints. Jones goes down on tackle number 4. Roby. Walsh flat pass. Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook loses the ball. McPherson comes up with the loose carry.
Absolutely brilliant by Theophage. You know, they've sent that much traffic as the young French halfback, yet he got himself in front of LMS, cut him in two and obviously forced the ball out. That was brilliant play by the young Frenchman.
So Salford, they breathe a sigh of relief after that 40-20 from Wilkin that produced nothing.
Yeah, well, they'll be pleased, Eddie, with the fact that their defensive line, for once, was working as a unit. That's the reason why they snuffed out any opportunity. Okay, good hit by the French halfback, Fage.
And here he is again now, this time with the ball in his hand. No way for Mullaney to get through there. Here is Smith now. Does he go for a 40-20? No, he goes the central route once again. And it's easily collected on the fly by Tommy Makinson. He's so quick, is Makinson. You wouldn't necessarily kick to him all night, would you?
Well, it's becoming monotonous, Eddie. It's down the middle. They've already seen John Wilkin get 140-20.
Johnny Lomax was on the corner coming down here. They didn't have any other option.
Yeah, but it was on the other side that there was no one there.
He's got to be able to kick it about 80 metres, though, to bypass Tommy Makinson over there.
Well, it was easy for Wilkin. Why can't they do it?
Here is Roby.
He's back to his best, isn't he, as well? Tremendous administration from the dummy half position.
Good kick from O'Hire too.
Yeah, it's a pressure, isn't it?
Means Mullaney has to work this ball away from his own corner. Now it's St Helens' turn to defend. They do against Williams. Plays the ball somewhat untidily. Here is Gleeson. And Lee will have a little scamper from dummy half. Gets them to the 40-metre mark. Pulled down by Jordan Turner. There's Melly. McPherson again. Salford over halfway, but this is the final tackle for them coming up. Again, untidy at the play the ball. And the kick from Theo Farge this time finds the gap between Lomax and Swift, but only just. Swift will pick it up.
Do you know, Steve, sometimes we criticise the kickers and we're saying they're not putting it in the right place. Play 3, 4 and eventually 5 are all as important as one another, and the midfield stuff that Salford are coming up with just isn't troubling Saints at all, so they can control what they need to control. Consequently, the kick's poor.
Percival to his feet, plays the ball here to Roby. Now it's with Lomax.
Once again, we see considerable ease at St Helens over that vital advantage line, and he's having the time of his life, isn't it, James Roby?
Nearly through, but there's broken field play here for O'Hire to exploit. This is Percival, and Percival was nearly through. In fact, Percival did get through before he was cleaned out.
Tackled off the ball, Stuart. It looked like it, didn't it?
Well, he was certainly well ahead of the ball, so it didn't actually affect the play, but I think Phil Betham would already call the tackle complete.
It's on suspicion, eh?
Well, it certainly looked like Tim Smith had held somebody back. You could see that Percival, the ball cannon arm had not hit the deck. He was looking to offload.
You know what? You've got to give a lot of credit for us. We just see them holding out a try. Theo Farge again, one of the few players to put his hands up and take his side forward. Gareth Hock tries to skipper through a few defenders, but all of a sudden here now, you can see that tackle success rate, 98% to 92. It's not a surprise really that St Helens have control of this game.
Soliola is on the field with a little more than 8 minutes to go to the half-time siren. Here's Mullaney, looks for the inside ball to Gareth Hock. He's got support outside him. That's good work though by Makinson. He cut off the ball that could have gone to Williams. It eventually finds Williams. That's better from Salford.
Best move of the match from the home side, and got an opportunity.
And Mullaney is grounded by Lomax on the last. That's the turnover.
And I'm not sure that was the best play either. They'd split the line. Wonderful break from Gareth Hock. He's got all the field and he's got an inside support run. I just can't quite see who it is. And he chooses to stick hold, find Danny Williams and the fullback. I'm not sure that was the best play.
Well, I think
he run from Hock though.
Yeah, and I think he lost the plot, didn't it, Mullaney? But either way, that will lift their spirits, because the inside ball that released the second row of Gareth Hock.
So it's 12-0 to St Helens as we approach half-time. Saints in second place after 2 rounds. They are the leading point scorers after the first 2 games, but Castleford top of the table on points difference. They've conceded 6 less than the Saints have this year. That's a tremendous chase.
Brilliant work from Jordan Turner. An early kick, kicked on tackle 4, and chased as hard as he could, and the most important part, he made the tackle.
So the Blues leading the Reds at the moment here. It's a solid enough looking run though from Matty Ashurst. Now Tommy Lee. Working hard from marker is Tommy Lee.
They've got to try to play this ball a little bit quicker. They've been held down slightly and they're getting away with it.
Harrison Hansen finds Farge. Farge then to Adrian Morley.
See how they're smothering. There's no way that Morley can get a quick play of the ball.
I think that's just good technique, Steve. I don't think there's any foul play in there.
No, I agree with
on Saints' part.
It's a better kick, it found the ground, but the chase this time a little laboured, and Makinson using his strength, using his speed. He just couldn't get away though from Francis Melly.
Good job that Melly was there, because he was looking for the gear, wasn't he? Just caught in first and second. If it had got into fourth gear, it'd been away.
Or he was like the boogeyman, Francis Melly, just chasing hard. Unusually, Saints letting the ball bounce, and I'm not sure whether that took Salford by surprise. Theo Farge bumping off. Gareth Hook, he's a better defender than what he showed on that occasion, but Saints on the ball.
With Walsh, and it finds its way untidily to Jones. Over the top it goes from Jones to Makinson. Makinson comes back inside Jordan Turner, goes down under the challenge from Farge. Oh, that's silly from McPherson.
Well, he lost the plot completely. There's no doubt about that. I mean, you could see the ball. It was about 2 seconds. Well, that's not what you want just before half-time. I know he's got a blow to the head.
Well, it wasn't the most correct play, the ball technique either, was it, Stuart, to be fair?
No, I don't think he got that far. I think in McPherson's defence, I think he wasn't aware that the other player had hold of his legs, so I think he just thought he was going in to complete the tackle.
Big chance then for Saints to increase their lead up to half-time. Soliola was hunting something on the left-hand side. Instead, the tackle was taken by James Roby. Here is Luke Walsh. Showed it to McCarthy Scarsbrook. O'Hire, then to Wilkin. Wilkin was nearly through. Good 3 metres short of the line.
Great tackle, Ashurst had to be as well. What's Walsh got?
He skips away from Hock. The pass comes then to Jones. He gets away from one. Jordan Turner manages to keep the movement going back to Jones. That could easily have been behind the man Soliola. That was certainly a forward pass anyway.
Spirited defence, you have to say that, don't you? Salford haven't had many chances to score, but showing here now that they're giving everything they can here to stay in this contest. If they keep it at 12-0 and they get to half-time, they've got a chance. There's a forward pass to Soliola, perhaps even offside, Stuart.
Well, there's a chance of that, isn't there? If he's stood in front of him and the ball comes forward to him, he's in an offside position. It's Salford head and feet at the scrum, so at least they're going to get the ball.
Yes, they are. And what have we got left on the clock? 4.5 minutes to the half-time whistle.
Well, it looked as though Saints were just going to blow them apart the way that their defence was just crumbling, but they've certainly tightened that up. They had to as well.
There was a danger in this match that Salford could easily have been blown away. They were 12-0 down in as many minutes, but they have steadied the ship. They haven't really threatened the St Helens line too much yet, but they have managed to stem the tide.
And Eddie, we were talking about the emotion going round the ground and how everybody's getting behind these Red Devils. Maybe that seeped through into the changing room, and the players came out all fired up, all revved up, and played that first 15 or 20 minutes on pure emotion. There's a saying in rugby league, you've got to have fire in your belly, but it won't work without ice in your mind.
Two sides here we're watching who could easily be top of the table tonight until whatever happens at Hulkingston Rovers tomorrow, where the Castleford Tigers are the visitors live on Sky Sports. Castleford leading the way just now, but either of these two sides can leapfrog them until tomorrow at 8 o'clock, and we'll follow that, of course, with Catalan against Leeds at 10. The first of our home games from Perpignan. We're going to show each and every home game that the Catalan Dragons played this year in 2014. That's a new feature for us this season here on Sky Sports.
Well, it's a shame there. Theo Farge got a pretty good kick, and it was just a little bit too strong. Tried to get the back spin on it.
Leeds, by the way, the fourth team with a 100% record in that table. Here comes Mark Percival through the lazy arm of Gareth Hock, eventually going down under the challenge of Johnson and Morley. Roby to Soliola. He gets to his feet, plays the ball to Roby again. Luke Walsh then to Lomax. Lomax not tackled, so he's able to pass the ball off the deck to Percival. Percival slides the kick in. Oh, it's a good kick too. It looked like it was going far too quickly, but then it suddenly pulled in, and Mulaney had to shuffle the ball dead.
Excellent little dribble through, wasn't it? Good position, though, by Jake Mulaney. It had to be as well.
Just bounces on its tip here, the ball, and stands still almost.
Yeah, he's having a great game, Percival, as well.
Is there only me thinking the pass was the easier and probably better option? Percival, I think it was only Tim Smith he had a 2-on-1 with.
Well, they've got the restart, haven't they? They'll get the possession back.
And plenty of time to get through this set of 6, 2 minutes, 5 seconds.
Bit of attention for Theo Farge on the left-hand side there. Referee Phil Bentham said you've got to get back behind the line. You can tend to him there, not in the field of play. They were hoping they could stop the game. He wasn't going to have that.
Tim Smith's drop out to just about 40 metres away. Here comes LNS. Rumbustious run from him, halted by Harrison Hansen's initial tackle, helped out by Morley. Here is Soliola. Saints looking to score their 3rd try of this first half. Immediately before half-time, Walsh, kick over the top. It's a tremendous kick as well. It could be a try here for Menkinson, but it's a decision for our video referees, Steve Ganson and Ian Smith. Offside, onside to check, and also the grounding. Stuart.
Well, I don't think there's much doubt about the onside. I think it's a planned move. So Louis McCarthy-Scarborough scurry along after he played the ball to get him into position. They're clearly onside there, so it's all about what happens at the other end. Does he collect the ball cleanly? Is there a knock-on? Does he ground it correctly?
Does he challenge the player as well and tackle him illegally? Is that an issue?
There's all that to check now. I'm sure they'll get close in and have a look at what's happening there. I think it's a fair challenge, both going for the ball. Salford player seems to get hold of the ball first, and he's then knocked out by Makinson pushing through. So it's play on from that position. It comes off his leg, so it's still live in play. Still go forward. You're just seeing that from another angle. In fact, he might not even touch Tommy Makinson there. I think it just comes back off the Salford player.
Yeah, it comes off Williams, doesn't it? Don't think Makinson's touched it yet. It's all about the grounding now.
Yeah, so it's play on from that position, and it's what happens after this now. Does he pick the ball up cleanly? Is he still in possession when he puts the ball down? I think Williams, his hand is in there. Makinson's got hold of the ball.
That's a try.
And he's still got hold of the ball, and it's in his hand as the ball hits the ground. And that looks like a try.
Yeah, it's going to be TRY.
So Saints, we think, have got their 3rd try of the half. They're just checking another angle again, but it looks fairly conclusive as far as we're concerned. Tommy Makinson, he's got tries in each of his last 2, the 2 victories.
His left hand is still on the ball there as it's grounded, and it's grounded with pressure. So I think that's a try. His right arm's not on the ball, but his left arm is.
Well, that's not us singing in the background. That's the St Helens crowd, by the way.
Well, I can't see what the problem is. It's quite clear that left hand has still hold of the ball. The body flops onto it. It's a TRY for 100 times. You can see quite clear the left hand. Fingers spread over the ball.
Well, they plainly can't. They're having a different view of it than us up here. They're still deliberating.
That's the shot for me that proves the try. The hand's still on the ball as it goes down.
Well, let's see.
I could see it from the start.
You were very quiet, Philip.
Well, I'm fingers crossed. You know, I've gone for Salford this season, and I suppose a part of me here at 12-0 wanted them to keep in here. Maybe the challenge as well, a little bit unlucky. I mean, I do think St Helens looked great today, but we'll find out maybe at half-time. Was it given as a knock-on?
How can it be a knock-on when it doesn't move away from his hands? You can see quite clearly. I can't
decision's
believe
over,
it.
Mike. Get on with it now. Here we go. Salford in
The
possession.
decision's over. Stuart, you were convinced for all money it was a try, though.
Well, I thought that shot showed that the hand was on top of the ball as it went down, and it was forced with the chest as well.
Well, the great escape for the Salford Red Devils, perhaps. And if Hock gets this ball away to Theophage, which he does.
Well, Salford need a few more surging runs like the last two from Gareth Hock. Fage has been in the wars, but he hasn't waved the white flag, and I don't think anybody from the Red Devils is about to do that.
Well, not now, they're not. That was a real lifeline, it appears.
Well, I've got to go for the big bomb. It's the first opportunity they'll have.
Well, they're running it.
Well, I don't know why. He's got to play the ball quickly, and Gareth Hock is struggling not to.
Well, he goes down. We've got 4 seconds to go here. He's got to play the ball quickly. He does. Now it'll go up into the air. Surely from Theophage. No. From Smith, maybe. No. Gleeson then. They're running it. Will he kick? Yes, he does down the line, inviting the run from Johnson. Lomax says that'll do. He goes to ground. He'll take the tackle. And that is half-time. So Luke Walsh, he scored a try. He's kicked 2 goals. Wilkin got the other. They were 2 tries to 0 up. Inside 12 minutes, 12 points to the good. Saints looking really, really solid. We've had a slightly controversial video referee decision to turn a try down. But at half-time, the Saints are heading to the top of the table. They lead by 12 points to 0.